The poem I chose for my poetry recitation is Smell by William Carlos Williams. Smell by William Carlos Williams. O strong, rigid, and deeply hallowed nose of mine, what will you not be smelling? What tactless asses we are, you and I, bony nose, always indiscriminate, always unashamed, and now it is the souring flowers of the bedraggled poplars, a festering pulp on the wet earth beneath them. With what deep thirst we quicken our desires to that rank odor of a passing springtime. Can you not be decent? Can you not reserve your ardors for something less unlovely? What girl will care for us, do you think, if we continue in these ways? Must you taste everything? Must you know everything? Must you have a part in everything? I chose this poem because, in my opinion, I find poetry very boring, and I wanted to find something that would be slightly interesting. The first thing that caught my eye was the title, Smell. It was kind of strange and silly, and after reading the poem a few times, I became very interested. In the poem, the author personifies the nose by asking him certain questions, such as, must you taste everything? Must you know everything? And must you have a part in everything? This use of personification, along with the continuous repetition of questioning and the use of imagery, such as souring flowers of the bedraggled poplars, and festering pulp on the wet earth beneath them, allow the reader to better understand the dialogue between the speaker and his nose, and better understand and interpret the meaning behind the poem. After reading the poem multiple times and performing a little bit of research, I found that the actual meaning behind the poem was unclear, but I think that, based on my interpretation of the poem, Williams is telling the reader and other people to keep their nose out of other people. I came to this conclusion for the meaning, as in the poem, Williams describes himself as a tactless ass. Tactless, by definition, means showing a lack of sensitivity when dealing with others in difficult issues. If the true meaning of the poem was to keep your nose out of the business of others, being tactless, indiscriminate, and unashamed would have a big impact on this, as people who are tactless, indiscriminate, and unashamed care more about the business of others than the business of themselves. Overall, after reading Smell by William Carlos Williams, I now have a better understanding for poetry, and I now know that not all poems need to rhyme. This poem is an example that even a simple dialogue between a human and an inanimate object such as your nose could count as a poem.